Good morning from Haputale. It's 6:30 in the morning, so excuse me if I'm a bit groggy. I've gotten up early this morning because I want to go and do a little bit of hiking around the lovely tea estates of this area. Now the plan today is to go to Lipton Seat, a famous place where Sir Thomas Lipton, the famous tea magnate, set up his estates in this part of the country, and on top of the hill he built a beautiful viewpoint which looks out over the expanse of this area, and the scenery is fantastic there. So the plan is to go up to that. It all depends on what the weather's like, because it is a bit hit and miss here. The clouds come over and it can be, if it's too cloudy, it's not worth going up there. Over there is also the Dambatenne tea factory, so it's going to be nice to walk along the tea fields, check out the countryside if I can. If the weather's not too good, I'll just do a bit of walking in the tea fields and visit the tea factory as well, and there we can see the process of making tea. We did that in the last video in Ella and we really enjoyed it, so I'd like to do it again. Mandy's staying behind today because her knee's a bit dodgy, so she's having a rest day and I'm gonna hit the road. Now this is what the weather conditions are at the moment. Looking across at these beautiful plains, you can see a bit of a heavy cloud in the distance. Who knows what it's like here? It can be changeable. It can be really sunny one minute and throwing it down with rain the next, so let's see how we go today. You'll find the bus stop to Dambatenne just behind the bakery in town, around the corner from the railway station. Don't let the tuk-tuk drivers tell you that there aren't any buses going. They do go. They start at 6:30 in the morning and they leave every 30 minutes. So I'm going to jump on one now. And hopefully this is the Dambatenne bus. Yes. And this is what it looks like on the inside of a Sri Lankan state-owned bus. Only about 9.5 kilometres to Dambatenne, so it shouldn't take long to get there. You actually get a ticket on these buses and it's 81 rupees, very reasonable. School time in Haputale. Be the Dambatenne tea factory over there with smoke coming from the roof. It's on the top of this amazing ridge just perched there above the tea estates. Incredible. And I'm assuming Lipton Seat is on top of that very ridge up there, looking over the plains below. What a spectacular setting. The Dambatenne tea factory. Now that bus journey was worth coming for alone. For 80 rupees, about 20 pence. It was just a fantastic ride across the plains, across the ridge, looking down at the tea below. Here's the tea factory. I think I'm going to start walking up towards Lipton Seat because it does look quite nice up there, so I'm going to take a stroll and see how far we get. So we've got a Hindu temple here, and of course the women that pick the tea, they are Tamil women. They were basically imported from India, from Tamil Nadu, back in the early tea days. They do the majority of the picking, so it is predominantly Hindi around here. So you'll see Hindi temples. They work incredibly hard in the tea plantations. Good morning. They actually get paid about 700 rupees a day. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's accurate. It might be a bit more now, but that's only a bit over $2 for picking about 50 kilos of tea a day. They get paid by the kilo, so it's a really tough life for the tea pickers, so full respect to them. So these are the tea bushes here, Camellia sinensis. It grows really well at this altitude, 1,500 meters. It produces a nice fine tea. The green leaves at the top are what they'll be plucking. The very green leaves. The ones below, too late for those. So it's about a 5 kilometre hike uphill, about an hour and a half from the tea factory to the top. you can get tuk-tuks. I think they're about 1,000 rupees return from here, or 2,000 rupees from Haputale. Such a beautiful place. I want to walk up and see the scenery myself, take it in, enjoy the peace and tranquility. Here come some of the workers, I think, ready for work in the tea plantations. So there's a load of workers spraying the tea over there. I'm not sure if that's a pesticide or a fertilizer, but I read that there was a struggle to get fertilizers, and there was a government directive a year or two ago to not fertilize any fields, so they didn't, and production went down considerably in 2021. So now they have fertilizer and they're restarting to fertilize the fields again, and production should go up. A nice guy in the clinic down there told me there's a shortcut here up the path, which is great to know. Very steep, but right amongst the tea fields. There's a ticket office you come through up to Lipton Seat, and the charge to get in is 500 rupees. Slowly climbing up through the tea estates for the ticket office, and the scenery is just as pretty up here. It's just tea all the way. We can see here that they've pruned the tea. They prune it once every 5 years, cut it right back so it'll grow fresh. So we've made it to the top of Lipton Seat, and I'm pleased to say the cloud is coming up now, so we're losing a little bit of the view, but you can still see very far in the distance to the horizon. Not on a GoPro obviously, because they're not so brilliant. Here is the famous seat over here where Sir Thomas Lipton is. There's hardly any of the tourists, just one nice Korean girl that I met on the way up, chatting away. Let's go and have a look at Sir Thomas Lipton's seat. Monkey crossing, be careful. They do say if you want the best view with no clouds, then come up here first thing in the morning, and I'm talking sunrise. I'm too lazy for that, and I wanted to walk up anyway, so we've got here later and we've got some cloud, but it's been beautiful scenery all the way up, and it is still nice scenery in the distance. I'm really happy with this. And this is the man himself in the shade, Sir Thomas Lipton, sitting, and the tourists sit next to him and get the view in the distance. And within 5 minutes of arriving up here at 10 o'clock in the morning, the cloud has certainly rolled in, taking away some of the beautiful scenery, but it is still very magnificent and well worth coming up here. I'm really pleased I did it. And there's a toilet down there. With no signs up, but it's 30 rupees to go to the toilet, and they don't have change, so even if you've got 100, tough luck. If I got 40, so I didn't get 10 change. The cloud might have come up on the south side, but on the north side it's still very pleasant. So I'm going to sit here and eat my roti and dal that I brought up with me, left over from breakfast, because I couldn't eat it all at 6 o'clock this morning. Enjoy this fantastic scenery, and then head off back down to the factory. And I'm heading back down now. The view aside, don't worry too much about not seeing the amazing view up there with the clouds coming in, because the scenery on the way up is just as spectacular. So don't take a tuk-tuk, walk it nice and slowly, and enjoy the scenery. You won't regret it. Well, I'm banked down, it's midday, the siren just went for the factory. I don't know if that means it's closing for lunch. I'm going to try and see if there's a tour going, see what happens. I think I'm going to skip the tour in the factory here. The one we went on to before in Ella was brilliant, an hour and a half. They took us around, showed us everything. I've just arrived, and it says that the visiting hours is until 12:30 p.m. and then 2 p.m. So they're shutting down for lunch now, so I think if I go it's going to be rushed, and I don't really want to do that. I think I'm going to skip it. I had a really good tour last time at the other place, so check out the other one for a factory tour of a tea factory. And Well, this is the outside of Dambatenne, the very first tea factory that was set up by Sir Thomas Lipton. Yeah, I skipped that tour. I got a bad vibe from the dude there. I've had some mixed reviews about it. Can be like very rushed and not very interesting because people just want to get you through and get you gone. And they're all stopping for lunch now, so don't come at this time. Probably come early in the morning for a factory tour at Dambatenne. I'm going to jump on a bus, head back to Haputale. It's been a fantastic day and I've thoroughly enjoyed coming out here.